All right. Hello everyone, and welcome to stream. Oh my god. I always feel like I have to ramp myself up to say that. I didn't even mean it to be like a thing that's like, oh, this is just what my intro is gonna be now. But like, that's now we're kind of stuck with that. Hello everyone, hello. Hope we're all doing good today. Hope we're all doing well. 10 out of 10 intro, thank you. Hello everyone, welcome in. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you're doing epic. As the stream title says, today we're going to be talking about how to draw characters and backgrounds together. I feel like I've chatted about this. I feel like I've talked about how to draw like a character and a background before, but like I don't think we've ever done like a full stream about it. And like if I haven't talked about it in a full stream, then I've absolutely just kind of brought it up a little bit. We're going to try something a little bit different this time. How am I doing? I'm okay. You know, actually, I'm not too bad. I'm not too awful today, I don't think. Hello from Toronto. Oh, it's cold today. I'm not too far from Toronto. Yeah, no, for those who are kind of in this, general vicinity, it feels like -30 right now. 30 Celsius, by the way, so. But yeah, no, I'm not too bad. Not too bad today. Yes, another character. Corn and Scuttle are part of the roster already, and Kingsley shows up sometimes. We've got another. But yes, hello. You have water? Excellent. Good. Anywho, before we get going, though, we all kind of know the drill. Before I jump right into it. Oh dear. Hang on. Sorry, everything's breaking. Nope, we're good. Epic. Because if you didn't know, our community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for our class offerings, where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are an art school too. So if you'd like to support us so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us by becoming a YouTube member for exclusive channel perks like emotes and sub badges, or supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, class recordings, early access videos, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots, so be sure to check those out before they are gone. Epic swag. Only in Ohio. I'm going down to Ohio soon. Alright. Epic. Alright, so we're doing something a little bit different today. Well, first of all, normally we would do the art submissions right now, but like, we accidentally posted the we posted the prompt a little late yesterday, so I was like, you know, I'll give them an extra week to get submissions in, and then we can have a proper batch of submissions for next week. Start to say that script every single stream. It's fine. You do what you gotta do. So we're actually not gonna do submissions this week. We're gonna do it next week. But we're also doing something a little different, because I actually have already started the illustration, because I find that whenever I do lessons where it requires me to talk mostly about rendering, I spend so long on the sketch and the lines that, like, the rendering, I don't really get to it, and I don't really get to demonstrate what I mean in terms of a lot of different things. So I've actually already started it. The lighting is almost finished. I made sure there weren't too many lines this time. But yes, I'm doing a new character this time because I get to play a new person. Am I having a good day? I'm doing all right, Kelsey. But yes, I'm gonna be finishing up this one. I was like, you know, let's do a good old 3-point perspective, because I missed this one. Another one shot? Yes, I have another one shot that I'm gonna be part of this Tuesday. This one's gonna be recorded, so it's not gonna be streamed. But I'm really excited. I'm gonna be playing a centaur. That's it. That's him. It's the boy. Yes, it's my gender fluid child. I'm gonna be playing this guy. The name is Strider. This is my goat centaur. This is the new character. I'm so excited to play this character. I asked my DM, I was like, hey, I know the centaurs are like horses, but we're gonna be in like a really earthy place, and it's gonna be a lot of mountains and stuff. Can I like have the centaur bit be like a goat instead? And he was like, sure. I was like, yes. So this is my ibex centaur. Their name is Strider. Whatever you think that Strider looks like, that's their pronouns. Strider does not care. But they're very peppy, very energetic. On all fours, they stand at about 5'11" at the tops of their horns, and then on their hind legs, they're about 8'4". I love Strider. I've been having so much fun drawing Strider. But hello, yes, hi. Hi, Ray. I noticed you in there. OMG, is that King Crow in the chat? I love centaurs. You're in luck. That's part of Pee Pee Popity Post Scattered, so you'll see me in that one. Strider's adorable. I love Strider. Might draw Strider. Thank you. Yeah, please. I love any art of my characters. But yeah, Strider was a joy to illustrate. They're gonna be a joy to play. Yeah, no, this is in reference to how tall PP is. I was like, I think Strider's gonna be taller than PP on their hind legs. I adore centaurs. I've recently gotten really into drawing them. Yeah, I've always really loved drawing like centaurs and like, cause when my DM, he was like, I was like, hey, I don't really want to play an Earth Ganassi for this area because we're gonna be in the elemental plane of Earth, and I was like, I don't really want to play, because I'm already playing a Water Ganassi for the other one shot that I'm gonna be part of the same series. Because I'm also in Claude and Pesky Scattered, so that's gonna be fun. And I was like, I don't want to play two Ganassis, because I want to like mix up the races. I want to try something new, which is the main reason I played Scuttle, because I was like, I want to play a Goblin. But I was like, okay, what other races do you have that I could try out? And he was like, I don't remember all of them, but the one that stuck out to me was what's it called? Oh, also, we're not going to do a lecture portion directly in the beginning, because a lot of the lesson-y portions actually come once the rendering starts. So I'm going to kind of give a lesson-y portion while I illustrate, which is, again, another kind of different thing that we're doing today. But yeah, I don't remember all the races that he gave me, but Minotaur was one of them. And I was like, Minotaur might be fun. And then I sat and thought for a second. That's me, I'm Claude. Yeah, it's Claude. But I was like, wait, hang on. Is this time when I finally ask if I can play a centaur that's not a horse but a goat instead? And I sat there and I was like, bro, please, Cryo, please. Can I play a goat? And he was like, yeah, sure, sounds like fun. And I was like, yes! So I might convince him for a boost in a climbing speed, but... Or I'll see if I can barter for one, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just really excited to play Strider, because they're like the complete opposite of A, one of the other characters that I'm playing, who I might draw for another week, and B, Scuttle, like who I just played. Because I feel like Scuttle was very non-vocal, like Strider is like a ball of energy with hooves, so it's gonna be so fun. Never played D&D? You should! Get a group of friends together, it'll be great. It's a fun time. Can't wait for you to just buck someone into oblivion. It's gonna be great! Scuttle was a trip. Scuttle was a lot of fun to play. Like, he was fun to play. I do miss being talkative, though. Like, the main thing I said that I was gonna do with Scuttle was him not to be that talkative, which I think was a mistake on my part. And I'm like, I should have made him talkative. Hi, Frey! Welcome in, bestie. How do I get into D&D? I actually recommend watching other people play first, and then getting into it, because you can kind of learn the ropes when you watch somebody else play. Like, don't read up on anything, just watch it. Because I find that, like, if you... What's it called? Like, if you try to, like, read about it, you get overwhelmed pretty quick. I love Strider. I also love Strider. Now you can make Scuttle talkative. True, yeah. The heck is D&D? Dungeons and Dragons. I also love Strider. I'm so fun. It's so fun. Like, he's such a fun character. Like, I've just been really wanting to play a really cute, like, goat kid. I'm like, this is it. This is the one. Like, a goat kid that is not a satyr. Because I think that everybody, like, again, like, I want to place, because I want to play, like, things that are, like, because you think, oh, like, mountains, goats? Okay, let's do it. Let's do what's it called? Let's do a satyr. I have a satyr character that's, Cliff, but Cliff is a reindeer rather than a goat. So, again, like, I like to mess around with what the idea of, like, a centaur or a satyr or something like that. Like, Korn doesn't look like a traditional dragon, so, like, when he's a dragonborn. How old is he? How old is Strider? 17. Are satyrs okay to mention here? What's wrong with a satyr? It's just a half person, half goat. Like, it's just like a little guy. Got, like, the goat ears and horns, and I'm thinking of Mr. Tumnus from Narnia, and then it's just goat legs. Yeah, it's just a goat guy. It's all good. But yeah, it's a fantasy role-playing game. It's a lot of fun. Get invited to a D&D group. Why don't you try DMing? That's also another thing. Satyrs are pronounced Sadores? No, satyrs. Isn't it? How did you pronounce satyr? There's entire species in my story that are loosely based off of satyrs and centaurs, and they're so happy and fun. I love them. I love that. Satyrs? That's so cute, but no. It's kind of like how I pronounce Genasi, but I know that it's Genasi. But I think that Genasi sounds cooler. Help how art draw. I know friends or people to play D&D with. I just do a practice game with my brother. You could always do that. Or you could just watch somebody play. That was how I sated myself for a while. Then again, I was never really into D&D until I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch my best friend play D&D. I'm gonna watch the campaign that they're part of. And then I was hooked. And now I'm like, and now I play for that campaign. Whee! It's not Genasi. No, right? It's not. No, it's Genasi. It's a hard G. And I'm like, that's dumb. I don't like that. Satyrs. Yeah, satyrs. How do I unbake a cake? Put water on it and cry. Yeah, tons of online communities to play D&D as well. Yeah, I don't play D&D in person. I play it online. I play it over Discord calls. And then there's also places where you can, like, you know, like, again, join other Discords and stuff like that. You know, they can maybe invite you on one of those. I should learn D&D. It sounds fun. It's super fun. It's super, super fun. Playing campaign of Tomb of Annihilation with friends. We all collectively cried over our first PC character death. No! PC in question was by Changeling Rogue. No! I'm so sorry. Character deaths are no fun. I'm currently playing in, like, my campaign that I'm playing in is, takes place in Exandria. But it is like a... It is a homebrewed story. I heard the word satyr before knowing how it was spelled. I was rather confused when trying to look them up. Yeah, it's a weirdly spelled word, methinks. Yeah, I'm so sorry if you can hear the wind outside. Again, it's really hot in here, in this room, but it's not hot outside, like, at all. So I'm keeping it open. Exandria's awesome, yeah. There's so much lore at Exandria. It's so good. See, I think it's kind of fun that I don't know anything about Exandria because, like, Teltoria is so fun, yeah. I think it's fun that I don't know anything about Exandria because Korn wouldn't know anything about Exandria. He lived in a forest his whole life. So, I think it's fun to have, like, everything be a mystery to me. Playing a barbarian halfling, was fighting a manticore. Woo, fellow barbarian. Fighting a manticore, I almost died if it wasn't for the bard NPC to carry me. Cries. I'm a tank, so I play a Totem of the Bear barbarian. And like that's what Korn is. I think we fought an Ash Elemental a little bit ago, and that was the first time that I was brought under half health. Like, every other time that we've been in combat, like, I have not gone half health. Like, I haven't been... Because I'm, resistant to everything. B, it's like, apparently I just wouldn't be hit that frequently. And we were also a pretty strong, like, party. So we would deal with stuff really quick. When you study anatomy, should you study each body type separately or should you study multiple body types at the same time? That's up to you. Personally, I think it's good to study multiple at once so you don't get used to one. But eventually you're going to have to learn it anyway, so it's really just a matter of how your mind works. If you do choose to go one at a time, then, like, just try not to make it a habit, I guess. Like, the big thing with me and my characters and people that I design is I never want two of them looking exactly the same. Like, some might look close, and you can tell that all of them are within my style and, like, they're my work, but, like, I don't want them looking too similar. Oh, you know what, actually? Let me pull out some recent designs I did. I didn't design the whole party, but I drew my whole party. The most recent one that I was part of. Hang on, let's see here. Yes, here, Solstice 2023. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Scuttle, but I'm not going to pull out Scuttles because I don't feel like pulling out Scuttles. But yeah, I tried to make sure that all of these characters had, like, different statures, different body types, different looks, right? You know, a slightly, like, heftier, not quite muscular. Like, because I would draw the body type underneath first. And then draw the clothes on top. So this character had more of, like, this is my partner's character. This is Polar. This character had more of a body like this. It was a little bit... Wow! Whoopsies, I forgot I was drawing this on the... It's like a PNG. This character had more of, like, a round sort of body type. You know, a bit heftier on the side rather than thinner. This character was a twig. The Azamar. They were a twig. They were thin, small, very, very short. This character is very, like, curvy. Friend, this is normally my DM, but this character has a very curvy kind of body type, but not thin necessarily. She's just a bit, you know, Coke bottle kind of shape. And this character is actually very muscular, like underneath the clothing. He's very, very built in that way. And this is a robot. So this is like a wooden, well, it's a Warforged, but it's a wooden robot. That was kind of fun. But you know, it's important to have diversity with your characters. If you're gonna study body types, just make sure that you don't get used to one of them. Warforged Druid vibe is my favorite. She was a Warforged Paladin, actually. It was oh my god, sorry. I couldn't talk for a second. Carol Linux was a really fun character. Both to design and to play with. Live my star, thank you. backgrounds and characters are hell to put together for some people. I find them quite easy. But again, I'm gonna get to that once we get to the portion where I can actually talk about that. Because right now it's just the lining bits, and this is not something that's like... I guess if I had to say something about the lining bits is that, like, just make sure that your line art is consistent. The number one thing that people struggle with when it comes to background, or that they don't understand when it comes to backgrounds and, like, a character, is that, like, the number one thing you need to watch out for is harmony. Having harmony within your illustrations are really important. Just making sure everything feels consistent and feels like it fits together. So like using the same liner, having the same kind of line weight, making sure that your background takes a second to the character unless it's a major portion. So this is like a background where the example is like, yes, the background is a huge major portion of the illustration. So it is going to be front and center. Sorry, I just realized there was a tangent there, so let me fix that. And I'm so sorry if you can hear the ambiance outside. If I turn on any kind of noise compression, then it gets rid of parts of my voice. And if I close the window, then I will die. So I would just prefer to keep it open. Everyone always say practicing line weight. How do you practice that? Half the time my pen doesn't register pressure the same depending on the angle of my hand. Well, then that's something you gotta sort out. Line art is... Well, first of all, check your pen settings. If you have, like, a pressure sensitivity thing, then check, like, if there's something that feels more comfortable to you. And then it's a matter of, like, you know, practicing drawing things that have line weighting, right? My general... Like, giving yourself a rule set. People always say, like, art has no rules. Art does have rules. It's just rules that you give yourself. So for me, with my line weighting, I tend to make the general exterior of all my, like, the silhouette lines a little bit darker, and the interior detail lines a bit thinner. If there is an area where, like, two corners will hit like this, I tend to thicken that up a little bit. That sort of thing, right? You give yourself rules and practice your line weighting based off of that. You can also try calligraphy. Try writing some things. That also helps with your line weighting, and vice versa. If you like calligraphy, improving your handwriting will improve your line art. Do I have a favorite character? No, not at all. I love all my characters. At the moment, I'm fixated on Strider, but... Like, I designed Strider a couple days ago, so I'm like, right now I'm fixated on them, but, like, I have no favorite. I guess if I really had to pick a current favorite, I guess it would be Corn, just because, like, I play Corn the most, but, like, I love my characters. Do I have a least favorite? No, not at all. Flavor of the month, but it's character of the month, real. Really like the way I do my line work. Thank you. My handwriting is hideous. Thank you for the tips. Yeah, no worries. Stability is another thing. Practice your hand stability and you should get there just fine. I love Corn. I also love Corn. Corn is such a fun character. I can't wait to play Corn again. We're back into playing our campaign on the 12th, and I'm so hyped. It's gonna be so fun. Because last time we stopped, we were at a ball, so we finally get to be somewhere fancy schmancy. Yeah, I'm kind of doing a thicker line today. If you can't tell, my brush looks a little bit different. If you zoom in, you notice that the pixels are exact. On Photoshop, you call that the pencil brush. I know there's a specific term for it. I don't exactly know what it is, though. We have a ball, we do. Did I miss the tips? No, you didn't. I just haven't gotten to them yet. We're doing a bit of a different format today. you know, I designed Strider's hair. I didn't think about what it looks like from the back, so I guess, I guess we have to deal with that now. I had Strider's ref open this whole time just to, like, make sure. Like, that didn't help me at all. Really hope we don't have combat. You know what? Corn swinging? No, he doesn't have his axe with him. Yeah, no, combat would not be good. Never mind, we don't have any weapons. My boy don't got no... I'm a martial class. I don't got no weaponry. I guess Corn will just have to vomit up acid. You got art supplies. We love art supplies. We got fists. True. Corn got big hands. I know that you mostly focus on digital art, but do you have any tips for inking traditionally? Yes, I love inking traditionally. I have a lot of inking things. My favorite ink is India because I'm boring. But, same thing though. It's with traditional line work though, it's a little bit different in terms of like stability overall. The thing with digital is you have the undo tool, traditional you don't. So with traditional work, you really need to get good at getting everything right on the first try. I've talked about the exercise that I used to do, which was go on a bus and then illustrate the people on the bus with the non-erasable tool. In this case, like a pen or any kind of inking thing would work. And this just kind of generally helps you get stuff on the first try, get it right on the first try. The plan, I grapple, you punch. Yeah! You grapple, you get them lined up real nice, and I just spit some acid at them. That'll work. Atros and Scribbles are the only ones who have full access to their attacks. Yeah, literally. Pierce is only a half caster. Lunan is also a half caster. So many winter birthdays. Yeah, I was born in summer, like the day before the summer solstice. I was born during a heat wave, apparently, which is funny because I don't like summer weather at all. I'm like, if it could be cold for like longer, I would prefer that. Like, I think that fall weather is like super ideal, even if I prefer winter. But like that temperature, perfect. What expressions do I love drawing? Sad ones. I love sad expressions. And sad and angry expressions have always been really fun, just because I like to be able to draw teeth. Like, teeth are some of my favorite things to draw ever. Little tip about teeth as well. Your lower canines come before your upper ones. I know we're not talking about teeth today, but like, just as like a little heads up. Your lower canines will come before your top ones. You just add in a little bit of their texture in there. Beautiful. I love drawing teeth. What clothes I like drawing? I just love fashion. Like, give me the opportunity to draw. I love drawing clothing ruffles. Like, I love like skirts and dresses and everything like that, but I just love drawing fashion in general. So I just really, really love drawing clothes. Like, I don't really have a specific one that I like the most. I love making excuses for characters to have sharp, interesting teeth. Super true. I designed for Scuttle. Scuttle's for those who want to know, Scuttle is a shadow sorcerer. We played at level... Shoot, was it level 9 or level 10? Or level 11? Hang on. Scuttle. Level 9. So we played at level 9, but I'm a shadow sorcerer. So Scuttle has this thing called the Hound of something. Hound of something. I don't remember the term, but Hound of Ill Omen, that's the one. I have something called the Hound of Ill Omen, and like I got to design that. I loved designing these teeth, man. I played around with the brushes that I used, and it was so fun to design this thing. Like, just to be able to draw it, and like having the 2 sets of jaws, and like this, like, I told my DM, I'm like, hey, I don't want to change anything about the stats. Can I just make this thing not look so much like a dog? And he was like, what are you gonna make it look like? And I sent him a bunch of my my inspiration images, and he was like, that's horrifying. Go for it. And I was like, yeah! But yeah, monster designs are something that I find I really excel at, even though I don't get to do them very often. But this one was really fun to work on. Very fun to draw this, like, spider thing that is a creature. It is! What would I call that? That was just that's a concept piece. That's my concept art. It's fluffy. He's fluffy. Never would have guessed that class. Yeah, no, he's a shadow sorcerer. I wanted to try spellcaster, and then I was like, you know, he lives in a cave, so like I'll just like he probably knows shadow magic of some kind. I don't think you all understand how ill-prepared I was to play Scuttle, but like it was still fun nonetheless. Draw a beast with 20 eyes and 20 wings. I designed my best friend's Eidolon, and it had like 7 sets of wings, so like it had like 10 eyes. I think that was what it is. This looks very planned out so far. Oh, I've already played him. This is this campaign, or not campaign, the one shot was last week. Asimos, feel like eyes are being so true. I didn't design Asimos there. You did, and you did a great job. Yeah, no, I've already played Scuttle. No, I was very ill prepared to play Scuttle. I love Arc. Arc was so fun to design. Okay, I guess I gotta pull out Arc too. Arc was so fun to design. Complete. Ray, there we go. Arc was a load of fun to design. Okay, so 8 eyes, my bad, not 10. By 8 eyes, so like 4 on each side, and then like a bunch of wings. Like this is how they would work. Was it 7 sets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of wings. So they had 6 sets of wings, so they had 12 in total. But yeah, this was a really fun design to work on. It was like, I just went for like this big, biblically accurate angel kind of thing. Oh no, okay, so if you have the ears... Okay, no, I was right, 7, because you also have the mouth. So it's 1 set here, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 sets of wings. My personal favorite concept, 2 favorite things that I came up with, was like the wing that covers up the mouth. I thought that was kind of a fun thing that I came up with. And then also the wings that turned into like the twin tails for the back. This thing was really fun. I like working on this concept, because what Ray gave me was just, okay, go nuts. I just need like a celestial Eidolon, go nuts. And I was like, I had no restrictions. I just went absolutely nuts with these concepts. It was so fun. I had a bunch of them. Hang on. Where are they all? Yeah. I had a bunch of different concepts that we came up with together and we kind of worked together on. So this one was very much just like, I'm gonna get weird. Where like the rib cage opened up into like 2 sets of wings. What I was given was, it had to be a quadruped, wanted wings of some kind, and like big front paws of some kind. And I was like, okay. So I kind of just worked with that. And then this one was like the biblically accurate one. But you notice that like the face is different. So we merged these 2 faces. So we merged these 2 to create the one over here. And then there was this alien one. I'm gonna use this concept again. So it's like the big pincers lock into the armpits, and then they expand outwards into like these wings, like they locked into the underarms, then swooped out, like they were these layers that were here. And then this one was like very mechanical. Like it was powered by this like core. It's like a nebula core, and it like moved throughout this entire very steampunky body. The arms were like these, they were hollow, and like this section could be like released in a way. Or no, my bad. It was this went outwards. Yeah. The mechanism would empty out here. There was like a hole here, and the aurora would come out through this section and go back into like this hole in the arm. But it would create this like fluttery wing on the side. And this was a fun concept too. I'm probably gonna use that myself. But yeah, man, it was fun. This design was so much fun to work on. Oh my god. I want to work on weird designs again, man. Like, it was so fun. Yeah, how do you get good at drawing? You practice. Unfortunately, the answer is practice. Like, I have no other... You practice... You know how... Here's a weird tip, actually. Because, like, I don't think anybody really says this one. When I was younger, my biggest influences were people who I saw as, like, 30 times better than I am. Alright? Like, I think, like, based on who I really loved as a kid, I think I'm finally starting to reach the level of the people who I liked as a kid. Like, I think I'm finally starting to kind of get on their par. And then as an adult, I have different influences who I think are, like, way better than I am as well. Take inspiration from people who are, like, worlds above you. And that kind of, like, setting that kind of precedent for yourself, I think, helps a little bit with keeping a goal in mind. Not necessarily... You shouldn't look at it in a way of, oh, they're so much better than me, I'll never be as good as them. But more in a way of, like, oh, this is where I could be, and this is the goal that I should try to reach. Yeah, practice maybe doesn't make perfect, but practice does at least make it better. Yes. Perfection's overrated? Anyway. Practice makes skill, and practice makes, practice makes the internal library a bit stronger. Alright, we're almost on the lines here. Oh, we're making good time. We've got lots of time. Goals aren't my thing, then you probably won't get better. Here's the thing, right? When I say goals, I don't necessarily mean, oh, you know, like, get into a gallery, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. It's more like, where do you think you want to be as an artist? That's what I mean by goals. It's not necessarily things that you want to do, it's where do you think you want yourself to be? It doesn't even have to be large, you know? People hear goals and they're like, but I don't really want to be famous. I don't really want to work for a giant studio, you know, that kind of thing. You don't have to. Who said you did? Your goal could be as simple as, hey, I want to be happy with my work, and that's totally fine. I've been trying Krita for the first time. You know, Krita seems great from the outset. Again, it's like, it's one of those things that, like, I just personally don't really like how it operates, but, like, it's up to you. Like, whatever you think works for you, totally cool. You can't achieve mastery, because mastery looks different in a lot of ways. People think mastery, and they're like, oh, these old masters, these giant realistic illustrators. Junji Ito is also considered a master illustrator. Look at his work. That's not hyper-realistic at all. Mastery looks different for a lot of people. Where did I download the perspective grid? I didn't download it. I drew it myself. I have a I have a brush called Gritty Light. I know that I hit the gritty every time that I draw with it. But, whoops, my bad. Hang on, this is no longer the background. This is the main image. So I guess I could just call it T of this and this one. Okay, so I have something called Gritty, and it just automatically creates like a grid, and I just like move it around. What program is this? Photoshop. Photoshop CC. What apps do I use for drawing and editing process? Very, very rarely I'll use Blender for setting up a background. If it's a big, intense background, I'll use Blender. For something like this, it's Photoshop exclusive. I've done nothing but Photoshop for this. Sometimes I'll also use CSP if I'm too lazy to make a grid myself, and I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna go into Clip and then use the perspective tool because it is a nice perspective tool. But more often than not, I'll just make it myself. Have I ever used Ibis? Yes, I don't like it. I guess just because I don't like illustrating on a phone. The screen's too tiny. Again, like, I'm sure it's fine, I just don't. I'm personally not a fan. Yeah, perspective is definite perfection if you use a grid. Yeah, because like if you use like a grid, then there's like, you know, there's no way to get it wrong, I guess. Also 2D with Blender. See, I don't use Blender for 2D. I literally just gray block out a scene if I really need to, and then I just like I take a screenshot and that's what I use. With my limited knowledge of 3D modeling that I remember from my time in game art college. Even still, Maya's very different from Blender, so like I kind of still had to learn a lot. Grouping stuff is not a thing you can do in Blender apparently, so well, not easily anyway. Like it's not just Control G. Thank you. Sure, let's go with that. I do still want to do... Okay, wait, let's wand this first, though. Excuse me. There's gaps. I don't want my lining for this one to be perfect. I kind of want a slightly more rough look. Just slightly, though. I don't want it to be too crazy rough, like some of my sketches. Don't mind me as I pick and choose empty areas. Alright, I guess that's just gonna be green. Okay. Sure, let's go with that. Good thing I just have Strider open. So I can just easily color pick. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, that's fine. Where? What's open? Oh, this like... That's what sucks about this brush, is because it's like pixel exact. I should have turned my tolerance like to 0. It's okay. Made corn fan art. Thank you. Is there any major difference between Apple Pencil and other styluses? The grip. Apple Pencils feel like I'm gonna, like, lose my grip every single time, and then you have to, like, get an attachment. The Apple Pencil has some weight to it, but again, it's very, very slippery, so you need to buy a grip for it. I use a Wacom pencil, or Wacom, so, like, I have, like, a Wacom, like, pen that comes with it. I like the heft of a Wacom pencil. It feels like it's not too heavy to where it's like it has like a lot of weight to it, and I can like flick my wrist a lot easier. But it's not too light to where it feels cheap, which is what I like. I also like it has a grip already built in, so I don't have to worry about like slipping or anything. Spot inside the earring. Oh, thank you. I didn't notice. Oh, and there's also actually this as well. Yes. No, actually, we'll keep that. We'll just say that there's hair there. I'm actually gonna close that off for a second. Silly autocorrect. I'm gonna go every 2 squares. This is the best thing about using a grid is if you are you drawing tiles, you have a perfect template right there. Oops. I think tiles can really enhance a perspective as well. If you notice, I'm not going, like, completely perfect. I think it makes it look a little bit more loose. If they're not perfect, like, I'm not, like, going over everything a bajillion times. Partially because I like it this way, partially because I couldn't be bothered. If it's too off, I'll go back onto it, but, like, whatever. So I don't need it directly in the center. Nice. See? Easy. Tiles. Thank you for the $2 dono, Kenny. Well, what is your... Oh, this is a PNG tuber, right? So if you... I use a VitoTube Mini. So yeah, it's a really, really easy and free app you can get. Like, this is one that I have for work. I've been setting up one for myself as well. It's a little bit different. Perspective grids kind of stress me out, so I never use them. I still don't know why. What do you use in place? I doubt there's anything wrong with using your finger. I can't see the downsides about it. Exhaustion. Lack of precision, I guess. It's more precise with a pen than it is with your finger. Oh my god. Hi, Kay. What's up, man? What can I do for you? You're not dumb. Talking about not being able to actually draw with a pencil if you're too used to using a finger. That's not true. You can learn anything. Allison, thank you for the $5 dono. What do you want me to draw for you? I have no requests. If you feel free to do whatever you'd like. If you'd like to pick one of my characters and draw them, that'd be cool. I know you've already drawn Corn, so like if you wanna, or have you? I don't remember. No, that was somebody else. My bad. But if you'd like to pick somebody else, if you'd like to pick a character, feel free to. Oh no, I thought I scheduled my plasma appointment today, but it's tomorrow, so I Ubered here. No appointment. I'm just no. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Just hang out here with us. It's alright, Kay. You can just kind of vibe with this for a bit. I'm drawing Strider, so you can hang out. Watch me draw my new child. It just needs a little bit more, maybe? No. A crop to an illustration can do a lot, so I'm just kind of playing with that right now for the composition. Okay, I like that a little better. What do I think of cross? I love cross-hatching. Do I typically use line correction? Yeah, nowadays, yes. I never used to. Do I usually use PS? It is my main illustrative tool. Hold my art cell, thank you. How do I send pics? Gotta go to the Discord, !Discord. $30 a month? No, I pay once a year. I get the discounted yearly payment. Okay. She'll pick me up, thank God. Alright, epic. Alright, where do I go from here? I think now is when I start to talk about things. Let me just, actually, no, I need to do the flats, my bad. I'm so sorry. See, I said this is like blue color, but I'm gonna change it, so like... or no, I guess not blue, like more of like a... Yeah, I guess the only place that stays that color is... Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just heard something fall. This looks good, thank you. I hope you're doing well otherwise, my guy. It's a type of shading. Kind of. I'm going to talk about it. What's cross-hatching? When you shade with little lines rather than with, like, smooth, big shapes. Yeah, why not? I'll take elements of their actual outfit. Excuse me. Thank you. Oops. I think 0 is the way to go for this one. Yeah, because it's like exact pixel. Twitter booted bots recently. It's just like 70 followers. I'd pass 400. No! Wait, really? I guess so, huh? Yeah, no, I heard about that. It's... Yikes. tweeter. The computer noise scares you? I'm sorry. I can't help that, unfortunately. I'm just gonna... Thank you for the $2 dono, Allison. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Who is this character? This is Strider, another character of mine that I'm going to be playing soon. Strider is my centaur, whose half is not a horse, but a goat. $21 for a month and $54 something for a year. That's not true. I pay 100 something per year. Strider looks like such a sweet boy. They're very fun. They're very cute. I'm very excited to play Strider. Like, it's gonna be great. My partner's gonna be playing with me. And for this specific one shot, he plays this character named Pipi Popodipo, who is notoriously very not intelligent. And it's gonna be great. How old is Strider? 17. It's gonna be great trying to speak with him and try to explain to him how it literally doesn't matter what gender you think Strider is, because they'll just say yes. For those wondering, Strider is gender fluid, so, like, whatever, like, Strider's not picky. And they personally like, A, they like to be perceived, B, they think it's interesting to see how different people perceive them. Watching you see draw makes me motivated. I'm glad. Illustrate more, draw more. We love artists in this house. I mean, I'd assume so, considering this is an art channel, but like, you know what I mean. I love my goat character. Goat child. Would Strider and Atris be friends? They would absolutely be friends. Strider loves everybody. Like, you just ask them, like, hey, it's like, I think you're cool. It's like, what? I think you're awesome. You know, Strider is like, Frey, I've explained it to, because I'm playing with Kay too, I've explained it to Kay and Ray and Crow and some of the others. Strider's energy levels would be a little bit much for Corn sometimes. So if you want to understand how hyper and energetic Strider is, like, that's the energy we have for this child. How fast can bro run? I haven't rolled for them yet, so I don't know. But I want them to be dex based. I want to play a monk. They're a beautiful being. Yes, they are. I think I said it in a different way when I was describing it to my best friend about why Strider likes gender fluidity for their identity, but I don't feel like reading it. Can Atris braid their tails and charisma buddies? Yeah! Atris could try! There actually isn't a lot of fur on it. I've just drawn it very fluffy here for some reason, but it's not really long enough to braid. You can absolutely braid his actual hair, though. Oh wait, I can just... Whoop. Oh, I was pretty close. I was pretty close on that color. Kind of music does Strider listen to? I described Strider's music taste as Freaks by Surf Curse and Glitter by Charlie Bliss. Are just so pretty. Thank you. Are there animals you aren't confident drawing? Insects mostly. I think I struggle the most with insects. I love drawing insects, but I struggle the most with them. Fine with lizards, fine with birds, fine with mammals. Some fish as well, I think I struggle with. Fine with reptiles. But yeah, I think insects are the one I'm the least confident in. Hollow Knight characters? See, that's stylization. If I was to draw like a legitimate, like you give me a bug and you're like, hey, I want this drawn, I'd be like, okay, and I'd do my best, but like I don't think I'd be that great. Actually, yeah, that's better. I think Hollow Knight characters are really easy to draw. Though I've never drawn one before, but like looking at the shapes, I'm like, they're about as simple as corn, so it doesn't seem that bad. I seldom draw insects, but I get a lot of inspiration from them. Same, yeah, no, I think insects have a really good, like, range of, what's it called? Like, shape language? Like, they've got great shapes, so I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I think they have a really cool, I think I've used, like, what's it called? Again, one of my boyfriend's characters, Hush, even though he's an Azamar, one of the big motifs that I used for Hush was, like, cicadas and moths. So it was like, I love taking that kind of inspiration. Like, his cape, when you open it up completely, he's got these little, like scarf tendrils as well. So, like, the silhouette looks like a cicada flying with, like, big antenna. I used to play Hollow Knight all the time. I had an OC for the game around the time I started drawing. It's a good starting point. Yeah, for sure. I never got obsessed with Hollow Knight. I have played it. I haven't finished it, but I'm really bad at video games and I still can't finish it. But I think it's fun. I think it's a really cool, really beautiful game. Like, I think this game is gorgeous. But I never got obsessed with it. I was never, like, huge into the fandom, I suppose. And even, like, I guess I just don't really, I'm not really part of fandoms anymore at my age. I'm just kind of like, nah, you know, I don't really have the time, nor do I really have the want, I guess. Felt, yeah. Have I played Cuphead? No. I am personally not a fan of games that are meant to be so hard to the point of it becoming a rage game. And I'm like, I just think that that's not fun. So I haven't bothered. I think Cuphead looks beautiful. Like, I think it's got a really cool animation style. But I was never a Cuphead person either, no. I also played Ori. Yes, I loved Ori. Ori is one I did finish. Ori is a phenomenal game. I did cry at the end. I was like, no! You want to know something funny about when I played Ori? I didn't realize that you could get upgrades for everything when I played. So I finished maybe 70% of the game without getting a single upgrade because I didn't realize that you could. And then at one point I was like, wait, this was a health upgrade. This is a power upgrade. I was like, what? So I just went back and looked at the map and I was like, that's what these are? It's markers for upgrades? So I went back and I got every single upgrade and the game got significantly easier. And I was like, oh my god. I've been playing this on hard mode unintentionally this whole time. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, Ori's gorgeous. Do I like Monster Hunter? No, I'm not a Mon Hun person. My best friend is. See, here's the thing with me, is that I'm very particular about what I like and what I don't like, and I think the only person who gets my, like, tastes exactly is my best friend. It's Ray. And I'm like, so Ray was like, I was sitting there and I was like, you know, I kind of like how Monster Hunter looks. I'm like, I think I'd like this game. And Ray was like, no, you won't. I was like, are you sure? And they were like, no, you won't. It's too much grinding. You wouldn't like it. And I was like, oh, no, you're right. I don't like grinding. Like, I hate games where you have to grind. I'm not a big dungeon crawler. I'm not a big dungeon person. Like, I play Pokemon, right? My least favorite thing about Pokemon is the battling. So I over-level my Pokemon like crazy so I can skip battling as much as possible. I like exploring, and I like finishing the Pokedex, because I like that kind of completion, because I just like seeing the art for the Pokemon. So I'm like... Do I prefer drawing landscapes or buildings and architecture? I like a bit of both. I'm a big fan of, like, just big sweeping backgrounds. I think that landscapes are easier, but I think I like the aesthetic of buildings more. So even though, like, landscapes are easier for me, because it's not as much to worry about, you'll catch me drawing, like, big city buildings and stuff like that more. What's my favorite Pokemon? Noivern. We love Ray in this house. We love Ray in this house. This is a Ray appreciation. This place will accept no Ray slander. What's Rain World? Rain World is a game that I've been recommended a couple times, actually. I haven't played it myself. Well, I mean, clearly I was recommended it and I still haven't played it, but that game is supposed to be really beautiful as well. Noibat Community Day this month? Really? Hey, yo! I love me. Okay, I want a Noivern plushie. Like, I really do. I don't know where to get one, because I can never see one, ever. Alright, luckily I chose a really easy palette for this one. I went a little corn there. Actually, I went a little trunks there. Alright. I've been holding my cord blush this whole time. Okay! So let's get into the actual lesson-y-ish portion. Here's the thing when it comes to drawing a character in a background, right? My main three tips when it comes to that, right? Trunks is my favorite character. Yeah, DBZ Trunks is mine, actually, guys. The main three tips that I have, I'm gonna make this really quick because I want to get to this portion. The main three tips: how to put a character in the background, I'm just gonna shorten it to BKG. All right, how to put a character in the background. It's all about harmony. So it's all about harmony. If you don't know what harmony is how different elements within a piece work together. Unity, it's very, very similar to Unity, where Unity is like, oh, they're all part of one. They all kind of work in as one. But harmony is how they flow together. So they're not perfectly exact, but it's almost like they have a rhythm or something, right? If, like, for Strider's design, let's say, right? Strider is mostly made up of warm, kind of neutral colors with a little pop of blue to give some variety. But it's a very harmonious kind of design because, like, again, similar line art, similar colors throughout, same style, right? Harmony is all about making sure that everything that you have together works. And I think the main, like, three things that I would say would increase harmony within putting a character in a background is, number one, lighting. Number two, sorry, my ear just started ringing. Oh, that's not good. So number one, lighting. Oh no. Number two, perspective. And number three, stylistic choices. Notice how I didn't put color on here. Because people are always like, oh, I don't really know how to make this whole thing harmonious because it's not like I have a specific color palette for this background, because that wouldn't make sense. That's what your lighting is for, right? Your lighting is what makes sure that everything in the composition feels harmonious together, right? It makes sure that everything works. Let me pull out an example. It's like the same examples that I use all the time, but I'm still going to use them. Where is this one? It's in school, right? there it is. Year 2. Yeah. Right? We've got a lot of different colors in here. There is no color palette. It is like these walls are green. Like if I took away all the lighting, right? The walls are green. There's an orange hoodie, red sweater, bright blue dragon. Pierce has green skin, right? There's the whole rainbow in this composition, but they all work together because of the lighting, right? That lighting creates a similar atmosphere. It actually harmonizes the color even without them being part of like a quote-unquote palette, right? Number 2 that I've put on here is perspective, right? This is all 3-point perspective, and every character and every object fits within said perspective. This is one of those pieces where I used Blender for the background, so I modeled out all the major objects, not the characters, but all the major, like, settings. So, like, I did the table, and I did the counter, and, like, the wall, and, like, part of the stairs, right? All the chairs, right? So I modeled all of this first, and then I put everything in it afterwards, but they all feel like they fit within the background because of that perspective. Right. And then number 3, stylistic choices. Everybody has the same kind of line art. I use the same brush. If you zoom in, the line art's actually quite messy, right? I used the pencil brush. I made sure to keep that mess throughout everything. It's all cel shaded with a little bit of soft within the shadows. The line art is all generally very, very thin, right? We want to keep that stylistic harmony throughout. We want to make sure that everybody looks like it's drawn by the same artist, right? Can I zoom in on the cat? Yes, this is Scribbles. This is played by, if you know streamers, this is played by Pulse Effects. But Scribbles is another character. So this is my boyfriend's character, Pierce, and his like pet dragon, Puddles. This is Corn, who's my character. Scribbles, who's our Tabaxi wizard. Luinin, who is our artificer. Artificer Shifter, Soren, who is our paladin. I guess I can say he's a Dampier. And then Atros, who is our tiefling sorcerer. But yeah, this is the party that I play with for my campaign. But you notice the harmony, right? You notice, yeah, Scribbles McPaws, that's his name. But this is the party. And this is how you make characters fit in the background, right? It is all the elements to make sure that they are actually there, right? Lighting, perspective, and stylistic choices. These are the main 3 that I would say how you would put a character in a background. It's actually a lot easier than you'd think, but like the steps are easier than you'd think. It's just all about mastery, I suppose. This one, I'm actually not going to soft shade. I'm actually going to do this one very, very cel shaded. Again, I want to try a simpler kind of look for this, so I'm going to work in a lot of heavy layers. Layers by comparison to... I'll put this in. So this is the balcony. And then I want a new folder. Or I can just do a thing here. Excuse me. No, I want this out of here. And then put this above. There we go. You guys voted for Dusk. Those characters all look neat. You should talk about them sometime. I talk about Teldori all the time, Kay. That's Kay. Kay's my DM. Woo! We love Kay in this house. Kay's the GOAT. My favorite book. I haven't read books in a long time. I haven't read a book in a while. But you all voted for Dusk, so we are going to be doing a Dusk sky. I need to look up what Dusk looks like again. It is what I think it is, right? It's dark. I need to see these colors. Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, epic. I'm gonna work on that. No Swifters. Strider? Strider, okay. You're almost there. You almost got it. Close enough. They'll be swift, so I guess so, yeah. See, Crow gets Strider, and then you and Ray end up with Rye. So Crow gets this, like, really peppy, cute character, and you get Rye. Which, you know, I guess Cryo is happy about. I'm so excited to play Rai. It's gonna be so fun to play that character. My water genasi. Water genasi. Swifter than my character. True, yeah. Oh, actually, Kay, could you give me your decks? Your character's decks. Just because I kind of want an idea of that, too. I know you rolled busted. Like, feel free to just DM it to me, and then I can refer back to it. 20? Alright. You rolled so busted for your stats, bro. Your stats are crazy. I'm not supposed to draw a character first. Make up a background that works last minute. No. Oh, that's another thing I should have included. Hang on. Hang on. Let me write that down too. Plan your background with your character in mind. That's how you get these three to look consistent, is if you plan the background first along with the character. Who does that? That's so weird. Hi, Oz. For reference, Oz and I are friends. I feel like I'll just have to say that for a while, man. Like, it's just like every time that you pop in, I'm like, just letting you know I know this guy. He's We are cool. Awesome. Do the backgrounds need to emit emotions? I feel like that's like a thing where like people are like, oh, it's like I need to make sure that my work has like a has like a deeper meaning. I think that's not true. Draw what makes you happy. And if that so happens to just be like a centaur character who's like way too hyper, then so shall it be. You know? Just make fan art most of the time. Fair enough. My work means nothing. I just like anime. Exactly. Exactly. Like I am very much against the idea that every single piece of work has to have a super deep meaning. I just draw what makes me happy, you know? Some of my work has like a deeper meaning, but not all of it does. I'm sorry, man. I only speak English. I don't know how to reply to that. Making my stars not so intense. Oh, what's my name? It says in the bottom right. Do you struggle with maintaining the same style when it comes to character art? I have some characters I picture as anime and others I picture as more realistic or comic booky. No, not really. I think that as you become more used to illustrating, at a point you just find your voice and you stick with it. We say goodbye in French. I'm from Canada. Everybody knows, like, a little bit of French here. How do I find my own style? Practice. Practice and understanding what I like. It's very much not the same for everybody, I don't think. It's a process for everybody to find their own art style. Whoops, I meant to do her here. Now here's the fun thing that I'm doing, right, is I could end it here, but what I'm actually doing is Strider, Strider's on this balcony, but what I'm doing is it's as if they're actually inside a house, so there is light that's going to be coming from here. So that's what I am going to be working with. Fellow Canadian, yeah. Your character, bottom right, you have a face cam and track your face. We notice you open your mouth to see that you mouth. No, there's no facial tracking. It tracks my microphone. It's a sound sensor. It picks up my microphone. You ever feel like you lack motivation to draw? All the time. So I just don't. That's the secret, guys. If you feel like you're out of motivation to draw and you just can't draw that day, then don't draw. Like, it's actually a lot easier than you think. Burning yourself out is worse than just taking a break for a day. Sorry, I'm like focusing a little bit on this. How do you know when you're ready to start commissions? I started commissions when I was like 14. There's no such thing as knowing when you're ready. It's more like, are you ready to start this chapter of your life? That was a weird analogy. It's more like, there's no such thing as like, hey, I'm ready to do this now. It's more like, hey, I'm willing to start this now. In Quebec, you need to know at least enough French to read the road signs, especially emergency signs. Yeah, like, see, I can read French pretty well. I can't speak it very well. I think that, like, I struggle a lot with holding up. Like, I can't hold up conversation, but I can read a sign just fine. Like, to put it this way, if I needed to catch a bus to get back to Ontario, I would be just fine. Yeah, when I go quiet, you know I'm focusing. Character looks good. I have a cool question. How do you make organic shapes look good? Because I can't figure it out. Organic shapes is finding a flow with your hand. Like, it's very much... Because I find it's always harder to make inorganic shapes look good. With organic, it's just like finding that flow with your hand. Understanding where to take it. With inorganic, it's a different story. You like, don't use rulers as much, that kind of thing. Any tips for starting IRL commissions? Ooh, I did start with IRL commissions. Start with people that you know first, and then branch out to people that you don't know. Like, I did commissions for family members and friends first, And then I branched out into, like, friends of friends and friends of family members and stuff like that. Like, I didn't start with, I didn't start with randos. Start with people you know and trust first. And then build a system to make sure that you don't, like, get scammed. Biggest tip for dynamic poses, don't stick to your 3D shapes too much. Don't stick to your forms too much. Get weird. If you stick too hard to forms, you're gonna get stiff. Don't stick to them, but don't forget them either. So this shading technique that I'm using right now is where I start with a layer of complete shadow, and then I add on my light afterwards. I find that this helps with harmonious looking lighting and harmonious looking shadow as well. Like, I think it's just good for harmony in general. I feel guilty if I asked a friend, okay, that'll be $5. See, here's the thing, is that, like, when my friends commission me, I get commissions from friends all the time. When my friends commission me, I give them a discount. So, like, when you're friends with me, if you commission me, I completely waive complexity fees. And then sometimes I'll just waive other fees as well. Like, if I'm like, whatever, I don't need a rush fee for this. Just let's go for it. You know, that kind of thing. I think it gets easier with time to charge friends. There are some people in my life who I don't let pay for commissions. Like, my best friend is like, I'm like, no, you're not allowed to pay for anything. I'm like, you need a commission, I'll just do it. My partner's the same way. I'm like, I remember when we started dating, and I was like, congratulations, you have earned the right you no longer have to pay for any commission you get from me. You are not allowed to pay me, actually. I will not let you pay me. And he was like, what do you mean? Because he's very much about, like, paying me in full. And I'm like, no, it's okay. This is a choice I am making, and you don't need to worry about it. And he's still mad about it to this day. I'm paid in pizzas. Well, some people, yeah, if you're an artist that's okay with, like, letting people pay for, like, other goods and services, some people will give you, I think I've been paid before in, like a gift card to, like, a restaurant, which, like, sometimes getting paid in other things is, like, very frowned upon, or getting paid in other services is very frowned upon just because it's like, hey, I need to eat, and, like, this... It's like, I need to pay rent, I need to do this, do that. Like, you paying me with this is not gonna help me live. I think it's a little bit different if it's like a restaurant, you know? It's like, or like, some people buy, like, other people, like, grocery store gift cards. I think that's pretty useful. But, like, for me, it depends on the person. As you get more used to getting commissions and, like, commissioning others and, like, just generally being, like, within the commissioning sphere, you can make up your own rules. How do you determine how much a commission costs? I do hourly. Some people, as in, like, I'll give you a base price determined by how long I think I'm gonna spend on this commission. Right, so, like, for me, as of right now, I work for about $30 an hour. So if I think it's a 2-hour commission, then you're paying me $60. That kind of thing, right? I think that hourly is good for, especially starting artists, though. Because some artists, when they first start commissions, they're like, hey, I'm gonna, like, charge, like, $15 for this huge illustrated piece, right? If they work for 4 hours on this huge illustrated piece for $15, 15 divided by 4, that's so below minimum wage, right? Like, heck nah, you shouldn't work for that low. Know your worth, right? And I'm just like, so I tend to tell younger artists, okay, think about it this way. Would you work at McDonald's for $3 an hour, right? And if the answer is no, then it should be the same thing for commission work, right? Maybe you don't start with, like, 30 an hour, right? That's not a starting price, but, like, you definitely shouldn't start with, like, 6 an hour, you know? Notice that I'm starting really zoomed out. Like, when I'm working on these, I'm trying not to focus on my details too much, because look at this. Like, I'm completely zoomed out and I'm working on this lighting and it still looks perfectly fine, right? I'm not worrying about the tiny little details nor the exactness of it, because zoomed out, the bigger picture is the one that's more important, right? Yep, you're also charging for the time it took to build your skills, 100%. If you went to any kind of art school, you paid for post-secondary, paid for lessons, that kind of thing, you're paying for that too, right? You're paying for the time that you spent becoming an artist and the time that you spent, you know, becoming who it is that you are. You're paying for all that. You're, you know? Charge more for your art. People generally don't know what a fair price is or the time the artist must be paid for. Super true. Naomi, can you tell me what MAP stands for? Because I know a different thing. Thank you for the $10, Sue. I know a different thing that MAP stands for, and it's very not good. So I need to know what your version of MAP stands for, because I have zero idea. Multi-animator project. Okay, thank you. I had no clue what that meant. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Because I know what the other version of map means. No, you're okay. You're all okay. I just need to make sure. So I don't have to be like, hey, don't talk about that here. Because I've seen other people be like, hey, this is like my favorite map artist. And I was like, your favorite what? I was like, because I remember somebody says that I remember somebody said that in the Discord, and I was like, do I have to ban this person? This person has been here for so long. And I went to go look at the artist they referred to, and I was like, no, this person's fine. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with this artist. And I was like, what does this stand for then? So I just kind of let it live. And then every once in a while, I would hear people say that, and I'm like, okay, I need somebody to explain to me what this stands for. I'm not an animator, just... Yeah, no, just for reference, the meaning that I am thinking of is very not okay and very not good. So just like putting that out there. It's very gross if you decide to look it up, so it's just like very ew. Like I guess here's my thought process on like looking it up. I would rather you be aware of what it is, and rather than be like unaware and you run into somebody like that and you're like grossed out. So I'd rather you be aware of what you're trying to watch out for, you know. Regardless. Should have said, no, you're all good. You're all good. Apparently, it's a very common term amongst animators. I'm not an animation person, so I wouldn't know. You're all good. Yeah, very, very frowned upon. The other meaning. It's very not good. Very gross. I just, again, I would rather you be aware so you can watch out for them. Strider is just getting impact frame. So I feel with too much caffeine. Yeah, fair. It's so common. Yeah, it's a very common term, apparently, amongst animators. I wouldn't know. Which original series Ben 10 alien is the best? My boyfriend would love you. Shoot. What's his name? No, I know him. It's the orange one. The big wolf one. The big alien wolf one. That one's my favorite. Wild Mutt. Wild Mutt's my favorite. Wild Mutt's the best one. I don't care. How much left on the stream? About a half hour. We're getting close. But I'm also almost done the illustration, so it's okay. Ghost Freak is a great choice. I wish I could animate. See, like... Yeah, look at that difference. It's actually kind of cool without the shadow, too. Actually. You know what? I'll do some testing afterwards. It's okay. Foreground. Let's do the background real quick, too. Accelerate is better than fast track. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Accelerate was pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. I did like Accelerate a lot as a kid. Oh, you're locked. Of course you are. I also, who else did I really like? A little gray one. Gray Matter I liked a lot as a kid. You know, my boyfriend would love you. He's super into Ben 10. Ben 10 and Adventure Time. Those are the two things he knows so much about. Oh, and How to Train Your Dragon, that too. It's cute to listen to him go off on tangents about those two things. How to Train Your Dragon's one of the best movie trilogies. I don't make the rules, it's true. Cannonbolt, very hype time. Valid. I don't mind Cannonbolt. I don't think Cannonbolt was ever one of my favorites, though. For the longest time, he had an association with me and Cannonbolt because I brought him up at one point. And then I was like, can you please not make Cannonbolt my profile picture on your phone? Because that's a thing he does, is just like, he'll take Ben 10 aliens and make the contacts in his phone varying Ben 10 aliens depending on like what his association with that person is. Is there a new How to Train Your Dragon series or something? I could not tell you. I could not tell you. This actually should be less visible up here, I think, because if this is like a down up kind of, yeah, that looks better. And then we can sharpen this here. Yeah, okay, that's stronger, right? That kind of makes sense. Might want to change the color of some of these lines though. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. change this to a multiply. Let's also make this lighter. Yeah, so it's not as crazy. Very nice. And then if I... Wait, actually, let's not do that. Let's just change the color of the lines. Epic! Nine Realms? I don't know what Nine Realms is. This is how do they... Milking the series. Oh, is this How to Train Your Dragon? They're super milking the series. I think that was a discussion that my partner and I had. It's just like, oh, they're so just milking the series now. It's like not even like... They're not even hiding it. It's basically just like... They're practically just using it for money now. What I'm doing right now is I'm changing the color of the line work in some areas just to make the lines not feel so bold. This also helps to soften certain areas. Like it makes it feel a little bit less intense. Like especially right here where this like potted plant has like these bright dark black lines right here. Like that feels a lot nicer when they're like a different color. Right? It's a little bit less intense and in your face when it's like a brighter color. So sad it was such a good show. Yeah. It happens. It's just like, you know, milk the series. Production companies love their money. Beat Alien X in a fist fight. I'm sorry I'm not reading chat as much, y'all. I'm like really focusing in on coloring right now. We're almost good though. We're almost done. I think this looks okay. I think I could have done a bit better, maybe. But, you know, not too awful. I think compared to the other streams that I've done, this one's definitely more complete. I'll probably like it more when I let it sit for a little while, and then I'll come back and I'm like, okay, actually, yeah, no, this is pretty good. I think just in the moment, I'm like, Rendering clothes, make your lightest point the top of the fold, and then shade from there. I'm pretty sure you'll get that, ICO. I've seen your work. Yeah, no worries. Here, actually, I'll give you an example. I'll show you how I painted Scuttle. How do you know when a work is done so it won't be overworked? When you think that the harmony has, when you think that the harmony has reached a point where it's like, I don't think I could add any more, or when you like go like, okay, I think we're okay here, you're good. Where is this one? Here, ICO. So like, top of the fold is your light, and then move outwards, and that's your shadow. Think of your clothing folds as like a 3-tiered plane. Depending on where the light hits, that's where you're gonna get the most like light concentration, or that's where you're gonna get the most like, that's where you're gonna get the lit up portion, obviously. So for this one, it's like from above, so this directly is where the light is, and then there's shadow on either of these sides. Yeah, I literally just figured this out, don't worry. That I was like, oh, this looks so much better. Which is just like, find the 3 tiers of your folds, like find the 3 sides, quote unquote, of your folds, and you'll get it from there. I think folds are something that I've been slowly improving on. Physically said, oh, right? I just got that a few weeks ago while I was painting Scuttle. I was like, oh man. I was like, wait, that makes so much more sense. Here's the fun little thing, is I could just remove this and this actually looks pretty alright. Let me actually just change the color of this a little bit. Yeah, I needed to lighten up that shadow. Alright, sick. Here's one last little tip. We're almost done here. Like, I'm pretty well done this piece. I don't really have anything else to add. I think that'll work a lot with the hooded part of this. Epic, yeah. I have a problem with drawing whenever I have to render metal or water or anything that only needs just like a line of color to render it, because my brain wants... whenever I have to render metal or water or anything that only needs just like a line of color to render it, my brain wants to blend it in. Oh, like you try to blend in every single thing. Yeah, don't do that. Plans will look so amazing. Thank you. What do you start with when you render? Because I want to try rendering, but I don't know what to start with. You want to see? Here, hang on. Let me... I am awful when it comes to teaching people how to render. Scuttle was 1 layer. I'm so sorry. Like, I have nothing else to say. Like, Scuttle was 1 layer. I also can't show you the full file because there is a nude version of him, because I wanted to get the body type down first, so I painted that first. Also, it was for like a painting exercise, so I was like, so there's that, and I don't want to open that file. Let's see here. There we go. Was this demo 2? Okay. Here. So like rendered out in black and white, right? That's what I started with. So what I do is I get like a sketch, and then I find where my light source is, and I do like a cell shaded version. If you mean painting, because rendering is really just finishing an illustration. Like this is rendered, and so is this, right? It doesn't have to be painted, it just needs to be finished, right? What I do is like I start with a sketch, a general gesture, and then I highlight where my highlights and my shadows and everything are gonna be. I take that, I merge it, and then I just paint. Made a home on McDonald's. I love McDonald's. So one of my original characters? No, this is my boyfriend's character. His name is Pierce. This is my boyfriend's D&D character. It's my he's his Eldrin Elf Ranger. But yeah, if you want a more like pure story, pure story again. If you want a more intricate looking one, because I'm pretty much done here. Like, I've finished this. I have one more step, but it won't take that long. Is it this? No. Where's the final working file? Is this it? Yeah, okay. So again, right? General sketch, find out where the highlights are, lowlights are, where my shadows are, and then I just rendered. Like, I just painted. Like, it wasn't even... This one definitely needs more contrast. Like, I'm looking at it now. This should have been darker here. It's what I get for doing it at 5 a.m. But, like... This is very much, like one that's a little bit... Like, there's a pretty good amount of, like, contrast up here, and then it's like I got lazy with everything else. But... Yeah, like, like, I had a sketch... Find my highlights, find my lowlights, find my shadows, and I'm done. And then I just render and add some details. Good perspective. Thank you. 4-point is fun. Like, I did this off the top of my head. It was 4-point perspective. And, like, I love 4-point, but sometimes it can be kind of tough. Can't figure out how to do mixed shading. We have a live stream on lighting. I go over it a lot more intensely there. Like, I say, like, every single step that you need to know when it comes to lighting and whatnot. Joe, if you can find that, that'd be epic. Do you think it's easier to start with the shadows and do the light, or start with the light and work into the shadows? Either or. There is no better way to do it. I personally like to find my light source first. Like, just wherever the light is gonna be, you're gonna have to do one or the other eventually. So, like if you hit your lights first, then then you've already found your shadows, because, like, if there's no light there, then it's a shadow, right? Like, for this one specifically, I started with, like, a layer of shadow and then added the light on top. Thank you. But, like, for other things, like, this has no shading on it at all, right? This is just lines and color, flat color. But, like, if I have a simpler one, I have illustrations of my partner, don't I? Like, for sure I do. It's like, this is the first one that... No, that one doesn't have shading on it. Hang on. Give me a second. I need to remember what I've drawn. Oh, okay, wait. Duh. Hang on. But something like this, right? It's like I did all the colors and then I added the shadows afterwards, right? So it's like these are all like flat colors with like a shadow layer, right? This one was like the shadow layer first and then a light layer on top. It's up to you. Trying to see if I can learn something from my comic. Do you want to see what I did for my comic that lasted for like a couple years and I haven't touched it? I look at it and I'm like, man, this style is old. And some people are like, your style hasn't changed. I think it's changed a lot. So for me, what I did is I had one layer of shadow, one layer of light for everything. Except for panels like these, where I did everything in shadow and then had an extra layer of light. What these layers do, when it's like all shadow and then a little bit of light, I determine whether I want that or the other one based on what there's more of. If it's a lighter area, then I stick with just, okay, I'm gonna keep all these colors flat and then add a little bit of shading on top. If I think it's gonna be a mostly dark area, then I'm gonna have the shadows first and then add the light on top. So these like layers that are in the dark have that kind of thing going. Same thing with the upper ones. It's like I started with everything in shadow and then just added my lighting on top of it. But again, this is like all my shadows were like 3 layers. Like there was no like intense like keep it as simple as possible when you're doing a comic, right? Keep it as simple as possible. You just say hello, Grace, and stop, Kay. But yes, it's webtoon. I haven't touched it in a year or so. I've read it. Oh. I hope you liked it. I mean, I haven't touched it, but like I hope you enjoyed. But like I'm probably not gonna go back, I don't think. But maybe I will one day and just revamp it completely with like a different kind of idea, but we'll see. I don't think so. But I've pretty much just kind of gone like, I'm not super into it anymore, I guess. I loved webtoons. I wonder if I've seen it but never realized. You know what my hot take about webtoons are? Is that it's hard to find one that's original. I think the most popular webtoons are the like they all kind of have like the same style, and I think that that's boring. I also don't like scrollers. Like if I was to look at like a webtoon and I see that scroller style, like I'm just like I never liked it. I think like I've stuck with a more traditional comic like layout because I was like I feel like this has more versatility versus like the scroller, which is just like one panel per page, and I'm like, it's so boring. I'm like, I want funky shaped panels, I want weird bubbles, I want, you know, that kind of thing. Take a shot every time Gray says revamped. You have one shot. What color do I use for shadows? Depends on what color my light is. Again, lighting stream, we've had that before. My girlfriend literally says the same thing about webtoon. Yeah, like I think a lot of them are very similar, and I think that that's kind of boring. Okay. He has a fun little trick that I do sometimes. When I do it all the time now when I have a finished piece. What I'm gonna do is I put absolutely everything into one big folder, right? All my entire everything into one big folder, right? I copied that, merged it, so I have one file here. What I'm gonna go do, I don't think every single program has this, so I'm sorry if you don't, but for those who have more advanced programs, I don't know if Krita has this. I do know that Photoshop and CSP have this. Image, adjustments, gradient map. So what you can do is you can have something called a gradient map. It'll track your values, and depending on what your values are in this piece, it'll map it to the illustration. Create different sets of colors for you. I'm kind of just playing with this right now. I kind of want this to be a little bit warmer. Let's make it a bit warmer. I'll go with a bit more of like a pink warm though, rather than an orange. Okay. Procreate has it too? Okay, epic. My father is a Pilates instructor. I'm doing the reference drawings for his classes on paper, not digital yet. It's great exercise to figure out if his stick figures have a foot or a knee. The Krita has it too? Okay. But yeah, so you have a gradient map, you hit OK. Once you have that gradient map, you can change this to like a multiply or an overlay. I tend to do both. So I have a multiply layer first. Kind of just change the opacity on that. Yeah. Okay. Streamer music TM, basically. Yeah, one layer of multiply, and then I tend to do an overlay underneath, just to give it bumped up a little bit more. But yeah. Right? Without, with. See that difference? Very nice. I'm actually gonna tone it down a little bit. But yeah, it helps harmonize it even more, bring the colors together even more. And again, that's all just part of lighting. 10-minute power hour music. It's the same artist, yeah. The one character's design keeps changing after years of having said character. Yes, I do. I've got a few of those. I haven't drawn them in a while as of late, but yes. Any advice to level up in art? Don't let yourself draw a variety of things. Try not to draw the same thing over and over. Thank you for the $10, Lizard. I've been watching your videos for a while. They've been a big help and wanted to support you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, you can do that. You can also do a fun little thing that some artists do. Hang on. Let me put these into a folder again. And then merge that. And then I'm gonna do this fun magic. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just kind of blur it a little bit. And then just turn down the opacity, and it gives it a fun little dreamy effect. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. So again, with, without. It kind of sharpens it without it, and then with it, it gives it a bit of a dreamy effect. Some people do that. I personally like doing that sometimes. And then you could go one more and then give it noise. Again, copy this, merge it, filter, noise, add noise, which gives it this kind of like greeny look. Change that, and then just lower the opacity. Zoom in, with, without, right? You can see that difference very, very minorly, but it's there. It gives it a bit of a different texture. Oh, whoa, I like that. I feel like I used Dan twice, but I get what you mean. Intro to this song is properly used, and Dan is like, what are you doing today, Dan? For the center of the table. It's true, yeah. But yeah, no, it's very, yeah, the grain plus the, this, do you know the reason why I know how to do that? I feel like every artist does this now. Like, so many artists do this now, but the reason I know how to do this is because when I was younger, I googled how to draw fake anime screenshots, and this is how you would make a fake anime screenshot. All right. With that being said, though, that is 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining. If you don't know too much about us, don't know too much about the channel, you're kind of new here. We're not just a YouTube channel, we're also an art studio. Be sure to check out the classes we offer, wingcanvas.com. Over on wingcanvas.com, you can check out the classes that we offer. I am one of the instructors. I believe my classes are full, but we've got a lot of other lovely instructors who teach various amounts of classes. We offer animation, digital art, traditional art, for all ages. 9 to 99 is what we advertise now. So if you'd like to sign up for those, feel free to do so. This illustration that you see in front of you will be available as a JPEG on our Discord. Join the Discord. Join some of our, follow us on social media, you know, check out the posts. I'm in the Discord sometimes. But come say hi, meet other fellow art nerds, come chat. It'll be nice to get to know some people. Well, I mean, I don't really talk as much, but like a lot of people get to know each other, make some friends, chat about art, give each other tips. This illustration has a lot of layers. If you'd like to see my working files, you're gonna have to join our Patreon. Our Patreon also unlocks early access videos, behind the scenes content, and live class recording, so stuff that will not be going on the YouTube channel at all. So you'll be able to see me teach and some of the other instructors teach, just to see what it's like for those classes to be run. But yes, feel free to check those all out. Next week, oh boy, what's next week? I am streaming next week, but let's see. Actually, I don't know. I don't think the new videos have been uploaded. They have not, but this Sunday we have Vanessa, who's gonna be designing some Pokeballs. Again, this month's art challenge is designing your own Fakemon. So designing your own Pokemon is the art challenge. So again, you can submit that in the Discord. We'll review them next week. Thematically, this Sunday is all about designing Pokeballs. I don't know what our next stream is, but we'll get to it when we get there. But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining this week, and I'll see y'all next week. Au revoir. Bye-bye.